Hey guys, welcome back. Today in this video we are going to see about how to call SOAP API in Appian. SOAP API often feels very confusing because the structure is a bit different from the REST API. On one hand, where the REST API follows the JSON structure, it follows the XML one. So in this video we are going to see about how can we build the XML body, and once we get the XML response, how can we parse that XML response as well. So let's get started. So in order to trigger the SOAP API, we are going to use SOAP API UI.org. In this one, there is a SOAP API given. We are going to call the SOAP API here. So here you can see getting started, and if you see in the site, there is a SOAP API which is there. The project name is calculator, and this is the WSDL. Basically the part to trigger the API. So see here, DNE online calculator. So basically it is going to add, subtract, multiply and divide here. So we are going to call that particular part here. So here you can see how the structure has been formulated here. If you see here, the tags are starting and closing, and then we have the envelope, we have the header, then it is the body, and finally it is the operation that we are going to perform, which is nothing but add here. And then these are the two input parameters, and again all the tags are closing. So we are going to see the same thing. But before triggering any API in Appian, let's first trigger in Postman to understand the structure, the body and the response. Once that is clear, then triggering in Appian is just a matter of time. So let's get into the Postman ones. So here if you see, I have imported the collection from the Postman. Okay, and there is one collection here, calculator SOAP. If you click on the add here you are going to get the response of that. So this is the variable calculator SOAP base URL. This is the base URL. And if you see here, there is no parameters, no authorization is there. Headers are present there. So these headers are very important. Content type, generally we used to put here JSON, but here if you see a char set UTF-8 is there. SOAP action is, this is the SOAP action which is present here, and this is the body. This is very important to understand. The format is in the XML here. So we have to also provide from Appian XML responses. Now if you see here, the format is XML, not in JSON. Now see here, this is the basic structure of the XML. This is just defining that this is the XML type, and after that this is the envelope, and then this is the body. So the same structure we have seen. First of all, envelope is there. If you have header, you can give header, otherwise body as well. So here we can see the envelope is present, then the body is present, and finally these are the two parameters. Let's just click on send, and let's see that how the response comes out to be. So this is the response. So it might be a bit confusing, like we needed to add these two numbers together, 100 and 100. The response should have been 200, but why are we getting so much of data response? So this is how you are going to get responses here. So again, the same XML structure, the envelope, and in the body you are going to get the response here in an open and close tag here, and this is the add result which has been provided here, 200. And the same thing we have to now try it out in Appian as well. So are we going to do it? So I have tried to create an interactive UI where you can easily understand how are we going to do in Appian. So see here, first of all, we have to build the request. See, these things doesn't come along with Appian predefined. We have to build these things from scratch. So first of all, we will build the request here. So see here, operation is going to be and the first number, let's say like 400, and then we will put it here 700, and then we are going to build exactly looking like XML body, something like this. And if you see here, this is the body that we have built here. Generated SOAP request XML version we have built, and then SOAP envelope, and this is the body. Add is the operation there, and these are the two parameters, 400 and 700. These two are completely dynamic here. So we have to first of all build this body, so that we can pass this body into the API. So we have built. Once we have built this body there, then the next thing here is to execute that SOAP API. So if I call the SOAP API here, this is going to be the SOAP API response. So if you see here, this is the response. Exactly the response is looking like this one there, and inside the add result it is going to be your response. So here if you see here, this is the add result. We added 700 and 1100 600 and we have got the 1100 result. But if you see, the result is very, the result is coming along with a lot of data as well. Now we cannot every time just keep on using the same response body. We have to extract the data as well. That's how you are going to get the result here, 1100. So this is how you have to use that 1100 response. So let's see that what are the different things we have done in order to generate the SOAP API, then extract the SOAP API as well. Now let's see that how in Appian we have tried to generate this SOAP API, then call and parse its output as well. The very first thing that we are going to see here is how have we built the integration. So in integration, I have not used any, as of now, any connector system. Directly I pass the URL here. This option is unchecked here. So this is the URL preview, and you have to keep the method to post. I have not passed any authentication here. Timeout is 10 seconds and no query parameters are there, but you have to pass the headers. Whatever the headers that we have present here, we have to pass that. Okay, so this SOAP action is not that much required, but this is very important, like which is defining that whatever the data we are going to get, it is going to be XML. And then finally we have here one expression rule which is generating that particular SOAP request here. So let's see that how are we generating it. So this is the rule for that. So if you see here, we have two rule inputs. If any of them, so if you see here, are the two rule inputs. Now if any of them is null, then it is going to be null. Click on test here. So if any of the value is null, then it will be null. Now I will give here 500 and let's say 600. Click on test here. Now it is going to give me the generated body. So how are we going to use it? See here. First of all, in the API there is XML declaration. This is fixed thing. So if you see here, this is the XML declaration and we stored in a constant there because that is going to be fixed. Now there was SOAP envelope. So SOAP envelope is also fixed here in all the APIs here, this SOAP envelope part. So we have also tried to store that part in the constant there. Once these two parts are done, the next thing that comes here is the body part, and then this is the TNS is nothing but namespace. Okay, target namespace. Okay, so see here, this is the SOAP body, TNS means target namespace, and we are going to use the operation AND here, and then we are concatenating this is the URL where it is getting the data, and then these are the two parameters we have passed, num1 and num2, and finally we have closed all the whatever the tags which were open, we have just closed that, and as a result we are getting this SOAP response here. Now once you have built the SOAP response, your part doesn't get over. Click on test here because this is how you are going to get the output there. Now extracting the data from this one becomes very tricky here. So what we have did, so we have created another rule, parse XML data. We are getting the XML data here. After that we are splitting the data by this one. Let me show you one sample response for that. So let's say like this is the API response that we are getting. As of now I have tried to store all the response in a constant here so that it will be easy for us to refer. Click on test here. Now if you see here, this is the API response we are getting, and now first of all we have split the data with the less than symbol. It is splitting all the data based on that. Now where the response used to come, the response used to come in add result. So now we will find out where is our add result part. So this is coming in the index 6 here, so at the 6th position. So this is the 6th, and now we are substituting this add result greater than this much text data with null here. So this is the null, and finally we are only going to get this 120 here, and we've got 120 as a response there. And now finally, like how have we defined and called the API on the UI there? So see here, this is the post API. We cannot call that API in an expression rule. We have to call in the save into button. So if I go into this particular button, here we are calling that. So let me just show you that part. So this is our button, and if you see here in the save into, we have called call SOAP API. We have passed two parameters, and on success we are just saving the FVBang result which has come up here. And in this way we are able to trigger the SOAP API as well. So let me just go with another demo here. Let's say like the first number is going to be here 500 and the second number is going to be let's say like 20 here. click on the generate API response. So here you are going to get the SOAP API XML data 520. After that, we are executing the SOAP API, call that SOAP API, and finally you will get the result here, parsing the data. So generating the SOAP response and parsing the SOAP response is very important, and you have to do it very efficiently because the data is going to be a bit nested here. It is not a map, it is not a dictionary, so it becomes tricky to extract the data from the response there. So that's how we are going to do the multiple other things, and some functions are going to help us achieve it. Now this was in the UI. I cannot exactly call this API right now in the process model. So earlier there used to be a smart service to call the SOAP API, like call web service. But as of now, this web service part is not there. So if you go in the integration and the APIs, only call integration is there, which is used for the REST APIs, not for the SOAP APIs. So only these two things are there. But on the UI, we have tried to call it and demo it as well. So that was all for now, guys. In this video, we have seen that how can we generate the SOAP API request, how can we call the SOAP API responses, and then parse the output as well. So these details will be available to you in the description. You can also try it out on your own as well. And if time permits, you can also try to make some UIs like this one, which will really help you a lot in understanding as well. So that was all for now, guys. Thank you.